everything, or if they are just briefed on
What's going on?
what's going on by Greg Chorvis, and then maybe can respond with their insights, which they do contribute to, you know, his leadership across all those things.
Yeah, it looks like, just from their minutes, a quick view, it looks like it's, you know, they discuss,
Day-to-day operations.
yeah, operations, things that need maintenance, things that are done, that kind of stuff.
Greg would be a good person to include in our group that's talking about that, or anybody that is.
The group that's talking about that?
Well, whoever is, we're talking about it now, but I mean, we should get his input on this subject.
Yeah, any action from the committee would go like to and involve the heads of those.
Do you know what day
departments.
they meet?
Sorry.
Sorry.
So there's a master recreation plan also.
Right.
Which was
Kind of
which was
interesting.
one of my notes that I'm trying to find from last year, which was that no one knows of anything
Yeah.
such thing, yeah.
The fourth Tuesday of every month at 6:30 in the Kiwanis Ice Arena.
Okay.
Not on the ice.
They ice
Or-
skate.
I-
well.
on
They-
skates.
I think it's 6:00.
6:30.
6:30.
6:30.
Alright. Ice arena.
Bring our skates.
When is that? What was it? What was
Fourth
The
Tuesday.
Parks and Rec
Oh.
Advisory Committee.
Right.
Fourth Tuesday, you said?
Fourth Tuesday of every month at 6:30 at Kiwanis.
Alright.
Says they oversee and advise on all town parks and make recommendations when necessary to the town board, coordinate with town parks and recreation department on use of fields and for summer recreation program.
So under the goals in that plan, Laura, that you're reading,
Yeah.
it said is that the one that says, start trails at Bristol Beach and?
It does look like there's some trails listed. Develop a multi-use trail system which focuses on the development of Hudson River Trail with connections to the village schools, Canteen Field, the Lighthouse, Esopus Bend, and Falling Waters Preserve.
Alright, so we do have trails,
So some of that is definitely happening.
Yeah,
everything but to the school.
Yeah.
And that's just impossible with the roads and the ditches.
To the
Right.
high school.
Yeah.
Develop a master plan for town trails, sidewalks, bicycle trails, and lanes.
We do.
Anyway, we had looked at this though, and I feel like there were a few things.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm trying to-
I see, but we did accomplish almost everything that was on there from 6 years ago.
Yeah.
We have the trails, we have the bike trails, we got everything but the 9W path, which the grant is in for
Right.
that,
Yeah.
and I hope that's going well. Did anybody else write a letter for that? For
which?
the grant for the
This
9W
was last
path?
year, right?
And I'm
No,
looking
it
at
was
walking path,
Last month,
We did mine for the splash pad.
yeah, I did that
going
one too.
south from the village through the zigzag
So I'm
turns.
hoping we get that, cause it's really a disaster walking down 9W.
It
Really
is
is.
terrible.
Is it a grant from the?
Yeah, it's the second year that they put in for it.
Do they want us? Do they want input? They want letters? Who wants
I think it
letters?
might be closed.
Oh, okay.
I think
Because did
it
the
was closed
committee
last
wrote
week.
a letter of support?
No,
That might have been
We
a good
vote
thing.
individual letters.
I found my notes from,
okay.
Oh.
That's always exciting.
yeah, okay, now I have to be able to read them.
Alright.
I'm gonna try my glasses, I don't know if they'll help.
Really? Are they readers?
They're not readers.
Then, yeah,
No?
that's just gonna be
Okay.
nicer.
All
Okay,
right.
so I can read. So we reviewed Parks and Rec Goal 4 in October, and my notes are just bullet points on these items that could be requiring implementation follow-ups. The master recreation plan, confirm the existence of it and review the implementation status. Multi-use trail system, I think you already mentioned that. Explore development of equestrian trails. Implement master plans for state-owned lands is one of the recommendations.
That was done on Bristol Beach and
including Bristol Beach, Eats
Right.
Point, and Turkey Point.
Right.
And then, park trail maps, review current resources, establish goals and timeline for updates. So this was me pulling from my notes, I think I shared these with the committee.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's true.
And identified them as altogether enough of a body of work to consider this, well, I call it an oversight committee here, but, to move those implementation goals forward and to be the driving force, regardless of who the actual, creator of, whatever product we're looking for, whether it's a map, a plan.
Are there maps of all of these trails at the trails themselves?
Yes.
Like, I know
Not
there is,
a, not at
there is
Bristol
at Falling
Beach.
Waters and
There
there is
is.
at,
Well, that's privately owned, yeah.
It should be on the town website too.
That's what I was
the way to
thinking.
do that.
Oh,
There is at a Sophus Bend,
and there's also the town, the little brochure that they put out every year, Sawridge puts out every year with recreation stuff in it. They have
Mhm.
maps
Does
of
it have a
that.
trail map of the hiking trails and all the other trails?
it has the bike, well, there's a separate one
Right,
for the bike trails.
Right.
That's at least online.
There's a
Most
group-
of them are online.
There is a group developing the off-road bike trails, I think, are talking about it.
Well, that's up by the dog park, isn't it?
I believe so, that's
Yeah, I
what
think so.
I talked to those folks about that.
Is there one of the
makes
little
the
brochures gonna
map?
be published this year too?
I don't know the.
I don't know when the last one came out.
Do you know who does that?
I think that, doesn't, I don't know.
There's something to find out right there.
I mean, Leanne would just hand them out every year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I know
they were
the chamber
available.
does one
I
too.
remember seeing them
Chamber
available.
of Commerce.
Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce.
that's who
Yeah,
I
I
think
wondered
does
if
it.
they did it.
I think the
Yeah.
chamber does.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of a reference for everything that's going on in town, for everything in town, that's.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
art and car show and.
Yep.
They pretty much keep track of all that.
And that's the only place that I know of anyway, that, unless people come here, come to town hall and say,
Right.
can I have a map?
Or just look on the website, there's.
Yeah.
But there
So,
should be,
and I would just say that it seems like there's just a lack of clarity about map assets,
Yeah.
right? And so that would be a project,
yeah,
It's something to pull together for sure.
right?
Yep.
Like, what does the town have? Who prints it, on what schedule, is it up to date?
where do people get them, where can they reference them?
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice if in the Chamber of Commerce thing, there were references to where to get them
And to
all.
be able to have them online so you could just pull them up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that's a project.
Well, we do have the information booth on Partition Street.
Yeah.
Yep,
I think Marjorie Block gets a lot
Yeah,
of those
she
things and
does,
she works
yeah.
hard getting all
She
those.
does,
yeah.
she has stuff at the Kierstead House.
Yes,
Who is this?
Marjorie Block,
She's
She,
one of the town historians
Tourism.
with tourism.
of tourism. And she's in charge of the Kierstead House.
Right,
Yes.
okay, so review of map assets in the town, and that would be mapping of parks. We're talking about Parks and Rec, I don't know if there's, trails, parks and trails.
Right,
And we're talking about having the equine trails. Somebody from it would be a good person to talk to about that, or what they thought might be possibilities of that idea also.
I'm not sure the town wants to open up the liability of having horses on the town trails.
You remember that trail yesterday, they had bikes and horses on that trail.
That's true, but they
Where
were
was
wide carriage roads,
Fernwood,
Fernwood
Fernwood.
Forest.
Oh,
Ferncliff Forest.
I thought you meant
River.
here, okay.
The state, when you go on the state trails, they have specific horse ones and then walking ones.
Correct.
Because some people get really funny about, horse poop, in their way and, some
Right.
people don't know manners around horses and, then you come in with the liability. So I don't think it's really something that the town's gonna wanna, especially with HITS being here,
Right.
it's.
Do you know of other horse trails in the area at all?
Up by north-south lake.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
that's where we used to go,
Mhm.
up there.
And they have a really nice one by Lake George, well, just,
past Lake George.
yeah.
Yeah,
What about Minnewaska, do they have?
I'm not sure. They might, but I'm not really sure. So many
I've never
things have
seen
changed.
horses there,
I
yeah, I
haven't
know,
either.
they've stopped horses on a lot of the old
They
state
have.
trails.
Yeah, they have.
So that, this comes up because it was presented as a goal
Right.
back
Yeah.
in 2021 or whatever,
It-
previous to that.
Yes,
maybe.
previous to that,
Yeah, so,
previous to hits,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the discussion last year was noting that there wasn't any equine trail development, and had anyone even talked about it, you know, amongst,
Yeah.
the stakeholders, I guess.
Does HITS have trails at their property? They have,
Oh, I mean,
not
Arenas.
public.
no, but for their,
Well, they have the trails that go around the outside that
okay,
they ride around on in the morning. And
okay.
And that's a completely different kind of horse and,
Correct.
you know.
Right.
yeah, those were, that goal was put in there before hits was considered, and there was way more horses in town.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, could you read, do you mind read back on the master recreation plan?
The first one, 4.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, support the continued implementation and development of the master recreational plan for the town and village in order to create a multi-use recreation facility for community residents and visitors of all ages that comply with all requirements of the ADA. Is that the one?
Yeah,
So we need a copy of that so we could all look at it and see
if
what.
it exists,
any ideas.
we haven't done it
Correct,
yet.
right,
Yeah,
even if it had-
yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, we can make one up.
Master
read any of the
recreation
others.
plan.
Okay.
What page you on?
It's 31.
Oh,
It's where the
Well,
recreation goals are.
It's goal 4.
These are just the goals, so,
Yeah.
but there's more.
Well,
Yeah,
implementation is
and a
just
lot of the
one,
things that
yeah.
were put in there have already been done since.
But I mean,
That
as
was
far
first
as,
written.
as far as references or maps or, I don't
So
know,
I,
there's no
yeah.
collection of them.
well, that's what we're talking about.
Because a
This is
lot of
just-
them are run by,
Private.
no, not, so Scenic Hudson does Falling Water. The Esopus Creek Conservancy does Esopus Creek, and they
This
put
is
out
the
their own
old one.
maps, they have the pavilion.
This is 2020.
2020.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
old one too.
Yeah, that's
I
what,
have 21.
unfortunately,
I was like,
that's-
that's not on the, this
Yeah.
is the
No.
most updated
All
one.
right.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
goal
okay.
4. I think it's the next page.
Stephanie,
That's why I was confused, cause I was like,
Oh, does yours read differently too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
on a different
that's
page.
good
I was
to
like,
know.
I thought I was on the right
So
page.
we should all get the
Oh, I don't
same
think the content is in,
plan.
oh, no, there is a different.
it's,
So
there's,
you said yours is 21 and hers says 20?
yeah,
But
I'm-
there wasn't two different plans written
No,
in 20 and
it wasn't.
Just
21.
when they were
No.
printed
So,
out separately.
Yeah.
it's just the page is set up different, cause
must be when they
when I
printed
got
it.
them from Lisa, they had no more spiral, so she made
Right.
copies. And then we spoke on the phone,
Oh,
and then she said,
establishing the connection that was
you know,
in-
It's a little different.
yeah, but no,
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
the
This is
premise
the
is
old
there.
This is the old
So
one.
this, it doesn't,
They took it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
weird.
one thing was taken out, establish a loop connection between the mountain
But we have to go
slopes.
with the current,
No, I'm just
Oh.
saying that was taken out,
between
between
those
here and the
drafts,
new one.
that draft and this final.
Yeah.
Establish a loop connection between.
Let's not even talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No, it's not a goal. It's not a recommendation in the final here. Thank you, Lauren.
Alright, so then I guess I should update it.
Yeah, we should all try to have an updated one.
Didn't we print them for everybody?
You and I do have updated
I
ones.
thought I did.
As everybody did get them printed, and I mean, I have mine, but I didn't bring it, I couldn't find it when I ran out the door.
Okay, so, I'll work on having copies printed. How many should I have printed for hard copies? You need one, Laura?
I would like one, yeah.
I need one too,
2,
please.
3? Anyone?
Susan wants one.
Does Richard have one? Do we know?
You should get one too.
I'll-
We should
I'll
all
find
get
out.
Yeah, put another one on for him.
one. We should all make sure we're all on the same page for that.
When was the last one, 23?
21.
21.
Last
So
one,
this is
21.
2020 update.
Yeah, I don't even remember one
2021.
being printed in 2020. That was a working copy.
Yeah, maybe it was just in progress.
Where did that one come from?
Carolyn gave it
Oh,
to me.
It came from Lisa.
It's, the pages are different,
Um,
they're just different number.
so, right now, we're kind of diving into the parks section.
Mhm.
Do you want to establish like consensus about the mission statement work
I think
before we
that-
get too far
I
into
think we
this?
really should.
Yeah, but does this exercise yield like enough meat on the bone for that, that work to be like a major part of the committee's mission? I mean, I guess that's the discussion.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a major part. I think that we need to finish going through the comp plan. I'm not sure what goal we got up to. I think it was 6.
I wonder if it would make sense to just compile, I mean, we have the notes from when we were reviewing the plan.
Yeah.
If we could then, once we get through everything, take those notes, would it make sense to take those to the board to see?
To write them up. and-
I think that we need to write them up. The board's gonna decide when they think the comp plan has to be updated.
But we're not talking about.
No,
update
we're not. We're
recommendations,
we're just talking about
implementation
what our
support.
mission's gonna be, if we're gonna stay a committee or not.
Right.
But,
Well, I
but-
think Rich was trying to bring up the idea of if we would help the board look at the plan, and then kind of follow up on things that may
Right.
not
That
be,
haven't
that
gotten
maybe
done.
they haven't had a chance to look at, or,
And
But that-
we did go over it and had suggestions. I mean, I know I wasn't here, I just have a bunch of sticky notes all over the plan. And I don't know if it went anywhere, I don't think it went anywhere. So that is actually a good idea, that if we did go through the comprehensive plan and we had notes that this should be considered to be included, that would be a helpful thing to
We
just
do have
write it
notes
up.
up to goal 5, and we need to all get our
Kind of
plans
pull
together,
them
and I think next month start on goal 6. Go through the whole thing and then go back to our notes and write up.
Yeah.
Something for the town board.
I'm
But
just
I-
not sure if it needs to be an entire process before it can actually push into communicating outward, because we already have.
No, we can communicate outward with other committees and with the town board, but as far as changing the next plan,
Oh, yeah, that's.
that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Those are sort of different tracks then.
Right.
One is implementation, which Rich was referring to,
Mhm.
supporting
right,
across departments and committees. And the other is the plan aligned with the current, conditions of our community, which this committee has not been,
Involved.
yeah,
Right.
well, launched on, that's not a, request right now.
No.
Right,
well, what do people think about that?
about which part?
Taking that on,
About taking on.
It's not for us to take on.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
It's not for us.
oh, I guess, I thought we were talking about looking at the notes and the
Right.
areas where we thought.
But not
there-
rewriting the
There
comprehensive
could be
plan or
follow-up.
being in that committee. That's not for us.
No,
We can send them suggestions when they decide they're gonna do it.
That was Rich Azof's suggestion, that we become the committee that rewrites it, but.
no,
Oh,
No,
I
it
don't think
wasn't.
So,
No,
Oh,
and that's
I thought
never
that-
gonna happen
I know, I
because
thought that's what he was
No.
suggesting.
no,
No.
he's saying that this committee can be